Hi, this is Vicki Christensen O'Shields for She's Gone Country with the CB Cowgirls. We are here on the Perry Haynes Ranch. We just finished up on the other side and had a lot of great interviews. Now we've came around to this side, which is known as the equestrian side. And visiting with us here today is Ona Trubee. Ona, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us, Ona, this is a wild setup. There are so many things that go on here on the equestrian side of the ranch. And tell us about some of the activities and different groups.
We have, we're open to the public. We have campers, hikers, bikers. We've had marathons out here for extreme runners. But our main mission is to keep this open to the public for mainly horseback riders, and the camp is set up for horseback campers. So there's pens, there's well-marked trails, and people come in for the weekend either by themselves or in groups.
Well, and how interesting, I believe it was Kate, when we were visiting a little bit earlier, she told me that there are over 100 miles of trails throughout the entire ranch.
Easily. Kate and I will combine the parts of the ranch together so that it's 4,500 acres altogether, 4,525 acres. And what we do is sometimes we'll have marathon runs, we'll have extreme riding events where the people are doing endurance riding up to 50 miles, and those will be marked and they'll go on both sides of the ranch, so they don't even have to go through the same trail twice. They just continue in loops. And we have river access, we have access onto the Fort Hood Reservation, so all in all, they probably have at least 15,000 acres that people can ride on right here.
But it's a beautiful, beautiful setup. And when we were pulling in and we were chatting up there by the check-in cabin, an event just finished up, and you said this past weekend you had how many campers here? Oh,
I had well over 100. What we were doing this time, we like to help children's groups because that was the spirit that Perry Haynes wanted to leave things to the orphans of Texas. And what we had out this weekend was the North American Saddle Mule Association. We were trying to get money for the children for their group so they would have prizes and things.
And so they camped, and then how many cabins do you have right here?
Right now we have 3 cabins. 2 cabins are, I'd say, rustic because they don't have bathrooms. We have bathroom facilities, we have hot showers. We have 1 cabin that has everything self-enclosed, and we're building 1 more cabin right now. We hope to have a total of 5 before the end of the year.
Oh, wow. Well, that would be great. Now, a little bit about the history of this side of the ranch. You know, as far as the equestrian center, how many years have you been here, Ona?
I've had this lease for 3.5 years. My husband and I have had the lease to keep it open to the public. We were really afraid at one time that the acreage, the whole ranch, would be sold off for homes. There was a chance that it would be used just for hunting. There's no other place for people to go and camp in the area that's reasonable, that's open to the public. So that was our main concern, to keep it open because we're horseback riders also. Right,
and and it's great because campers can come in here. They can dry camp, which is primitive camp, or if you're pulling in with an RV. They have facilities for electricity, and you can hook up. So it just offers a little bit of something for everybody. And that leads me into the question. I know that RFD TV was just here, last week?
Last month.
Last month. And tell us about RFD and it was the best horseback.
The program is called The Best of America by Horseback. And what they do is they spotlight different facilities around where people can travel with their horses to go riding. And they were here about 10 years ago, and so it was a revisit. So we were fortunate to have that. It's going to be airing on May 19th this year.
Right, and don't forget that, listeners, because this video will be out on YouTube before that date, but it will be May 19th. That's RFD television. And that will, that will fill in a lot of different spots and certain give our listeners and viewers a lot more information. I've been really intrigued. Earlier, before we sat down for the interview, Ona was walking me through the other side of the room here, and a lot of the artifacts and history of the ranch that you've picked up, is wonderful.
Well, this whole place was sharecropper. And so one of my main things I'm trying to do with the ranch on our side, no one's done anything since, well, they just really haven't done much. I'm trying to get it back to the way it looked more like in the 1930s. So I go around and I pick up the artifacts, that means old rusty stuff.
Right.
And we'll be putting it into sort of a museum so we can keep the things together, everything from old pistols. We have Perry Haynes's original side saddle.
Oh, that caught my eye because I'm a horseback rider too, and that's the first thing I noticed when I walked in the room.
They look so dangerous.
Oh, but they're fun to ride. I have ridden one.
Ah, scary. Well, she and Alan Haynes were married in 1895, and a lot of the area around here was mainly sheep. They had Angora sheep, and they had cotton as a cash crop. And so there were people that were coming and going, and that's what we find out here. The soil's too hard to dig a trash pile, and so they would just throw it out, and then that's how I find
surface dumps.
Surface stuff, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Well, then, Ona, tell us about some of the upcoming events. I know it's springtime, the weather's beautiful, the Texas countryside couldn't be more pretty. We've had lots of rain and
lots of blue bonnets.
Oh, they were just beautiful.
They were.
But I noticed some wild lavender too.
Yes.
That is gorgeous. That caught my eye.
Yes, the next flowers that will be up is called horse mint. It's a purple flower with rings, so it'll be like purple, 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 purple on a stalk. And then also there'll be like pink bouquets, and what they are is called mountain pink. Mountain pink, and that's pretty. That's coming up too.
Well, and it's beautiful because we've had so much rain, and oh my gosh! But this place is just like a little piece of paradise. And you're only how far are you?
We're 5 miles from town.
5 miles, just unreal. But yet you feel like you are really out here in the country. Well, now what's your next big group that's coming in?
The next big group that I have coming in will be June 4th. We're having Perry Haynes Horse and Mule Days, and this is just a get together we have every year. I'm going to have a mule clinician come in, and so people will be getting more instruction with their mules, hands-on, with Paul Garrison. That'll be Saturday and Sunday, and then on Saturday I will have a group riding out. And then I'll have entertainment in the evening. I'll have a local country western band, county line band. Very good. They'll play for a couple hours, and then I'm having Dave Stamey come out and Mickey Daniel. They both are high up on the list of Western Music Association as Entertainer of the Year. It's cowboy music.
Oh wow, the best kind.
The best kind.
The best kind, cowboy music.
This is an equestrian center. You gotta have cowboy music.
Gotta have cowboy music, and you gotta have horses. So I know that a lot of your campers will bring, they'll bring in their own animals, but, do you have horses here that say someone just wants to come out and
I don't have the rental horses, but there's a lady that rents a house on the property, and she has horses that you can rent out, and we'll take you out on a guided tour. We don't want you to get lost. When you have 3 sections of land, it's very easy if you're not used to it.
Absolutely. That would not be, we don't want to send out the search and rescue for anybody.
3-hour tour.
3-hour tour.
Those poor people.
This kind of sounds like Gilligan's Island, a 3-hour tour. Well, okay, so that's what's going to come up next, and that's happening. But you usually have regular scheduled events throughout the summertime?
Yes, like Saturday, we had a scavenger hunt where there was about 40 people that went out, and they had a list of clues, and they follow a certain trail, and they come back and they win prizes. We try to do that at least 2 times a year, and we'll have different little things to, I send them out on a trail, and there'll be different things to do. It's just for fun.
Right.
It's not competitive. If you want competitive events, they'll be here too. But we try to do whatever we can do to get the regular average person out.
Right, and it sounds like you have something here for everybody. no matter what, I mean, if you want to attend a clinic, if you want to go out on a trail ride, if you just want to come out and visit with Ona and see, take in the beautiful countryside and, have a full glass of history, because it is all here on the Perry Haynes Ranch. Well, Ona, we were visiting earlier and talking about the connection, to, the young people, and everything going on and with our youth, and trying to lift them up and give them something else to think about other than, a video game. And we were talking about the connection with our veterans. And I know that you and your husband are both veterans.
We are.
Well, thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you.
It's great. I'm sitting next to a helicopter pilot right here. Well, on it, is there? How does somebody, later on find out about what you're doing here? Is there a website? Can they give you a call, or?
They can access our website.
Mm-hmm.
It's Perry Haynes Equestrian Center. You just have to remember that Perry is the woman's name, so it's Parrie.
Mm-hmm.
We're on Facebook. That's where people post all their pictures. It's an open, public domain,
Mm-hmm.
and so you just go onto Facebook and you plug in Perry Haynes Equestrian Center.
Uh-huh.
If they want to get a hold of me, my number is posted.
Uh-huh.
Our email is perryhaynesranch@gmail.
At Gmail.
And just get a hold of me. I text, I write, everything.
Well, and thank you so much for being our guest and giving us a little insight, because we're all about the stories behind the stories, and we love to connect the generations, because so much of our Western heritage and history can easily be lost, but it's people like everyone involved here at Perry Haynes Ranch on both sides that are working so hard to keep that alive and just lifting up the visitors. So once again, this is Vicki Christensen O'Shields for She's Gone Country with the CV Cowgirls. Thank you so much for listening in. And Ona, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me.
All right. 12 minutes.